Now on WKRG News 5.
Hundreds of thousands of people descend on the nation's capital.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
The 45th President of the United States was sworn into office.
This moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
Patriotic scenes from Washington, D.C.
And violent clashes between protesters and police.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. Team coverage on Inauguration Day right now.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader, the news starts now.
Today is a News 5 weather alert day, and this is for the potential for severe weather later on overnight tonight through tomorrow morning, and then potentially a second round of severe weather as we go through Saturday night into Sunday night. So the next, I would say, 6 to 24 hours, you want to make sure that you can stay weather aware and stay weather alert, whether it be through our WKRG News 5 free weather app or just through a NOAA weather radio. Right now, though, everything fairly quiet. Just one shower in Santa Rosa County. But as we kind of zoom things out and look at our forecast, so as we go throughout tonight, the first half of tonight, relatively quiet. So 9:30, just mostly cloudy. But as we transition from early on tonight into around midnight, that's when we'll start to see our chance for severe weather go up. We'll see that line of showers and potentially severe thunderstorms rolling anywhere from around 3 a.m. and then lasting through the morning hours. But we'll have much more on this coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Devin Walsh.
And I'm Peter Albrecht. The United States has a new president. Donald Trump has taken the oath of office, ushering in a new administration and a new direction for the country.
Thousands of spectators and protesters were in our nation's capital for the transition of power.
CBS's Craig Boswell has the latest now from Washington.
Solemnly swear. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
At the stroke of noon, surrounded by his family, Donald Trump put his hand on Abraham Lincoln's Bible and took the presidential oath of office, administered by Chief Justice John Roberts.
So help me God. So help me God.
Looking on were former Presidents George Bush and Jimmy Carter, as well as Bill and Hillary Clinton.
I, Michael Richard Pence, do
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas administered the oath of office for Vice President Mike Pence. After a 21-gun salute, the new president delivered his inaugural address.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
Along with the Washington elite, hundreds of thousands of people braved drizzly weather to watch the making of history.
We wanted to get a feel for the entire process. Good, bad, both sides, everything.
I am very proud that we've got our country back again.
President Trump signed executive orders before joining guests for lunch and heading to the parade up Pennsylvania Avenue. By that point, he had said goodbye to the outgoing commander-in-chief. Ending their 8 years in the White House with a final wave, the former president and first lady departed cloudy Washington, headed to sunnier days on vacation in Palm Springs. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Police arrested 95 people as thousands of protesters were in D.C. today. Most of the demonstrations were peaceful, but a few arrived in town intent on causing chaos and destruction. Protesters carrying anarchy flags knocked over trash cans and destroyed windows as they roamed through the streets. A few tried to fight the police and escape. 2 officers were injured, but police fought back with pepper spray and with tear gas. Here in Mobile, a small group of protesters gathered in Cathedral Square in downtown this afternoon to voice their displeasure with Donald Trump. Not a large turnout by any means. Another protest is planned for the same site tomorrow.
Students at St. Ignatius Catholic School watched the inauguration live in their classrooms today. We sat in with a group of 6th graders, some of whom were watching an inauguration for the very first time. Some of the younger students may not have fully comprehended what today symbolized, but we asked a couple of students what they thought about the ceremony.
Like how Trump said, America's going to be strong again.
If you like him or you don't, it's just very important to watch it because it is history being made. And one day he will be in my history books.
They have to learn the traditions and values and principles of our nation. Just as they learn the principles of their faith, we think it's important for them to know how to be citizens too.
We asked a few of the students if they wanted to someday make a career in politics. All of them said no.
As Donald Trump enters office, people in Alabama feel better about him. than they did in November when the state overwhelmingly voted for him. Our News 5 strategy research poll shows 55% of people in the state feel better about Donald Trump as president than they did on Election Day. Among Republicans, the figure is 76%. Our pollster believes that's because Trump has solidified himself with conservatives through his cabinet appointments and policy statements.
You see people looking at that and saying, I voted for this guy because my only option was Hillary, but the people he's appointing, the things he's looking to do, these are really great things. Does all of the country feel that way? No. But amongst the Republicans who might have been voting for him because of the option on the ballot, they're pleasantly surprised at the decisions he's making right now.
53% of Alabamians, though, believe the nation has become more divided since Election Day. We'll carve up the poll numbers a little bit more tonight on News 5 at 6 and 6:30.
Well, evidence of division was seen right here in Mobile today. The cannon in Midtown was spray painted just hours before the inauguration. Spray painted in gold letters, Putin's Gold Boy on the side of the cannon. The paint has been removed and we don't know who did it. Mobile police have not made any arrests. For more on the inauguration and protests around the country, go to our website, WKRG.com, or check out our Facebook page.
A traffic accident just south of Montgomery last night claimed the life of a beloved teacher and coach from Spanish Fort. News 5's Debbie Williams is live at Spanish Fort High School, where it has been a tremendously sad day, Debbie, for all of those who knew the coach.
A difficult day here at Spanish Fort High School. The flag for most of the day, if not all of it, was at half-staff as people remembered Coach Thad Akins, killed last night in that tragic traffic accident just south of Montgomery and Fort Deposit. That's in Lowndes County. Now, friends and co-workers today remember him as a passionate man. He was passionate about his family, his students, and basketball. As the coach of the girls' basketball team, he was on a mission to grow the program, and he was well on his way to doing just that. It was up to Principal Brian Williamson to break the news to the team this morning.
Definitely one of the tougher things that I've ever done, because you try to stay strong for everybody to be a leader in a situation like that, but at the same time, I'm hurt and broken on the inside as well because, I was extremely close with him.
Now, News 5 spoke with Coach Akins at the beginning of the school year. Not only was he a basketball coach, but he taught history. Extra support personnel was brought into the school to help students deal with the loss today. The principal telling me the lessons in all this is that life is precious and don't take it for granted. We understand there will be a prayer vigil tonight at the flagpole here at Spanish Fort High School, that getting underway at 6 o'clock. Live on the Baldwin County beat in Spanish Fort, Debbie Williams, News 5.
Okay, thanks very much, Debbie. A wreck in Tillman's Corner killed a person today. About 7 this morning, an older model red truck struck a silver GMC pickup, killing the driver. The wreck closed Highway 90 near Coca-Cola Road in Tillman's Corner for about an hour, and that caused a big traffic backup. Authorities have not released the identity of the driver. Mobile police are investigating.
A toddler is in the hospital in critical condition after being attacked by 2 dogs. And right now it's unclear exactly how it happened. We went to the small neighborhood where it happened in Molino, Florida. News 5's Catrice Nolan is live at the Escambia County Animal Control with details. Catrice?
Devin, that's right. We are here live at the Escambia County Animal Shelter, which also doubles as animal control. And we're told the 2 English bulldogs are being held here after they attacked a 2-year-old toddler. Now, again, we went back to the neighborhood where it all happened in the 100 block of Rumford Road. Now, neighbors were very tight-lipped about the incident. They would not confirm the boy's residence or where the attack happened. We do know the toddler was sent to Sacred Heart Hospital and is recovering from lacerations to his face, and he is expected to be okay. Now, according to a spokesperson with Escambia County, the owner of the 2 bulldogs willfully turned over the animals to animal control to be euthanized. It is still unclear how the toddler gained access to a fence where the dogs were being kept. So again, those 2 English bulldogs are being held here at animal control until they can be euthanized in about 10 days. Of course, we will continue to follow any leads that we may hear about coming up later. Reporting live in Pensacola, Catrice Nolan, News 5.
And coming up after the break, an incredible rescue in Italy. Several children saved after an avalanche demolishes a hotel.
And it's a News 5 weather alert day. The chance for severe weather exists. We'll break down everything you need to know coming up in the forecast in just a few minutes.
An annual Pap test could save your life. A message from Southern Cancer Center.
Everybody's mornings are different. But we all need to know one thing. What's going on in our community?
As you're waking up this morning, we have new information from overnight.
Watch News 5 this morning starting at 4:30. Get top stories from
New
overnight.
information you need to know as you head out to work this morning.
Weather to plan your day.
It's a great day to be outside.
Checking out the Bayway for you.
And traffic to see if you need to take the long way. Because no matter what your day looks like, mornings matter.
When I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for no small dough. I'm hunting for the big bucks. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. You've been hurt in a car wreck. Let me hunt down the big bucks for you. Call me right now.
Big things are happening at AutoNation, so I'm hitting the road to spread the word. And I have a wingman. Just like AutoNation, he's smart and fast. Sure you can keep up? I'll take that as a yes.
Hurry into AutoNation, where you can drive new Rams up to $13,000 off. Journeys or Cherokees up to $6,000 off during the Start Something New sales event. Drive pink, drive safe, drive now at AutoNation Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Meep, meep.
At Palmer's Toyota Superstore, we make it family friendly. We make it fit. We make it rough and tough. Because Palmer's knows trucks and SUVs. Drive 2017 Tacoma double cabs for one low pay price of $11,975. $11,975. Drive new 2017 RAV4s for one low pay price of $11,715. $11,715. Palmer's Toyota Superstore, your Gulf Coast family store.
When I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for no small dough. I'm hunting for the big bucks. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. You've been hurt in a car wreck. Let me hunt down the big bucks for you. Call me right now.
Every genius has a secret weapon.
I'm the Flash, and now I'm going to the Grand Canyon. I'm back.
A Big Bang Theory.
Weekdays at 3 on WKRG News 5.
Welcome back, everyone. Some breaking news we've been following all day today. An off-duty police officer and a woman in New Orleans were shot and killed, and a manhunt for the suspect followed for hours. Police were looking to track down 32-year-old Sylvester Holt, and just hours ago, he was found threatening to jump off the Crescent City Connection Bridge over the Mississippi River in downtown New Orleans. Authorities eventually talked him off the ledge, and he's now in police custody. The man is accused of shooting his ex-girlfriend and a police officer who had stopped to help her after a traffic accident in nearby Jefferson Parish.
Hopefully, we'll get a better climate in our country, and this will stop, because this was a cold-blooded murder. Officer Louvier was shot in the back of the head. He had no idea what was coming, and it was just cold-blooded. It's no other way to explain it other than this was a cold-blooded murder. As he was trying to assist someone he believed to be injured in a traffic accident, he was murdered.
Now, the suspect threatening to jump off the bridge caused a major traffic nightmare because police were forced to close all lanes of that major road that takes traffic out of downtown New Orleans.
6 people have been found alive after that avalanche in central Italy 2 days ago. A fire official says rescuers are now working to free them from the snow which buried their hotel. You can check out this dramatic video of rescue workers finding a young boy and pulling him from the ice-filled hotel. 30 people were believed to have been inside when the avalanche started. It followed a series of earthquakes in the region.
Coming up after the break, lawmakers have filed a new bill that will look to do away with concealed carry permits in Alabama. We'll explain.
And it's a News 5 weather alert day for the chance for strong to severe thunderstorms later on tonight. We'll break down the risk and the timing coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes.
I saw Savitar murder you. We can prove that we can alter the future here and now.
3, 2, 1.
Unclaimed freight notice this weekend in America.
American Freight, over 1,000 truckloads of living room furniture, 7-piece living room groups that include a sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps. You get all 7 pieces from only $398 complete. Free layaway till tax refund, same-day delivery. Come to the loading docks this weekend only at American Freight in Pensacola at 4500 Mobile Highway and in Mobile at 3404 Moffett Road.
Mom was in and out of the hospital again and again. My sister and I were trying to care for her alone. That's when we found Emerald Coast Hospice.
If you're struggling to care for a loved one, Emerald Coast Hospice may be the answer. Emerald Coast Hospice's care is part of your Medicare benefit and pays for supplies, medications, medical equipment, and nursing visits for all eligible patients. Best of all, our care comes to you in the comfort of home. If you need help caring for someone you love, call 1-855-855-9920 today.
Don't be without the WKRG News 5 app. Get news, traffic, and weather on your tablet or smartphone. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and type in WKRG.
Now is the time to buy at Eastern Shore Toyota. Choose from over 17 acres of new Toyotas, all backed by our nationwide lifetime warranty. Unlimited time and miles, no extra cost. Now drive a new RAV4 or Sienna, your choice, with 0% financing available. That's right, 0% financing. Shop Eastern Shore Toyota, passionate for customer satisfaction.
I hated our bathtub, but who has time for a remodel? Not this family. And then there's the mess. Then I heard about Bath Fitter. They came in and put a beautiful new bathtub right over our old one. Bath Fitter also has seamless walls that provide a watertight fit. There's no mess, no demolition, and they get it done in as little as 1 day. Plus, they provide a lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, I have a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
Welcome back to News 5. This is a live look at the inaugural parade in Washington, D.C. The parade close to wrapping up. We just saw Alabama's own Talladega College Marching Band a few minutes ago. If you want to catch the parade, you can do so on CBSNews.com.
Now a News 5 update. Mobile Police and the Department of Forensic Science are investigating those human remains that were discovered yesterday. They were found near Spring Hill Memorial Place, which is right behind Babies R Us and south of Spring Hill Memorial Hospital. The remains were found while crews were clearing off the land for a new construction site. Investigators tell News 5 there are no signs of foul play. We'll provide an update once the investigation is complete.
Weather may have played a role in an explosion and fire last night that destroyed 3 recycling trucks. It happened about 8 o'clock at the Public Works Central Garage on Palafox Street in Pensacola. The recycling trucks were lined up at the natural gas refueling station when they caught fire and exploded. Early indications show the fire began in one truck, then spread to the other 2. An official says lightning could be to blame.
Always when we have terrible storms passing through the area, it's always important for the public to be mindful that many of these terrible storms produce lightning and other turbulent weather that could always be a hazard to them.
Once the flow of gas was cut off, firefighters were able to quickly put out the fire, and luckily no one was hurt in the explosion. Tonight at 6:30, News 5's Haley Minogue will have more on this story.
Now, Thomas Geboy with your first alert weather.
Well, and as we go from tonight into the overnight hours tonight, we are under a News 5 weather alert day for the potential for strong to potentially severe thunderstorms starting past midnight tonight and lasting through the early morning hours. So yesterday, we didn't see any severe thunderstorms. However, there will be a higher chance as we move throughout the evening time hours for tonight. Looking at the radar right now, things relatively calm, things relatively quiet. Don't let that fool you though, because as we go throughout the rest of this rest of this evening, we'll start to see shower activity really begin to increase once we get close to midnight tonight. So one little light shower moving through Santa Rosa County into Okaloosa County, then everything past that fairly quiet. So let's go ahead and go over our forecast over the coming hours. So what we're going to be watching for is a line of thunderstorms and a group of thunderstorms coming in from our west. So everything will get going around midnight tonight. This is painting out 2 o'clock in the morning. So maybe a few stronger thunderstorms out in front of this main line that you see here. But from 2 o'clock all the way into around 5 o'clock in the morning, we'll really see that line solidify and potentially some severe characteristics in that line. So around 2 a.m. tonight all the way through 5 a.m. will be the best chance for the western area, so for our Mississippi counties and as well as Mobile County and into Washington County. Then from there to around 8 o'clock in the morning, pushing through the panhandle, but you can see that nature of the showers and also potential thunderstorms. So throughout much of tonight and also into tomorrow morning, we are going to be under the gun for the potential threat for severe weather. This first wave gets out of here around lunchtime for tomorrow, maybe still a few lingering stronger thunderstorms in the panhandle tomorrow. But as we go into Saturday night, into early Sunday morning, there will be once again another return chance for another round of severe weather, maybe as early as 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday as more showers and thunderstorms look to go through. So over the next, I would say 6 to around 24 hours, be weather aware. Here's our severe risk for the overnight hours tonight. That area you see in green is marginal risk. This area in yellow is a slight risk, and the higher category is over here highlighted in the orange. That is a enhanced risk, so we kind of zoom that out and you can see across the southeast as a whole. You see that enhanced risk, slight risk, and also that marginal risk. These do have a place on the totem pole when it comes to severe weather outlooks. For marginal risk, bottom of the totem pole, but we do have an enhanced risk for our Mississippi counties tonight, and that means severe weather is likely tonight. You don't want to take this lightly, and you want to make sure that you have a way to stay weather aware, whether that be through the WKRG News 5 free weather app. There's a radar on that, also a lightning detection system on that, so you can track the storms, or also a good thing to have is a NOAA weather radio. Also across the News 5 area for the first half of tonight, there is another dense fog advisory for our coastal counties as well as some of our Mississippi counties as well. So fog first portion of the evening, then potentially stronger thunderstorms later on. So there's a 90% chance that you're going to need an umbrella tonight, but past midnight when we see those strong thunderstorms, probably an umbrella not the best idea. As for tonight, temperatures only dropping into the mid-60s, but the thing to take notice is the severe thunderstorms will be possible past midnight tonight. So our 7-day outlook, next 6 to around 12 hours. Be aware for the first round for severe weather, then Saturday night into Sunday, be aware. Then we finally see things calm down Sunday night into Monday, a little cool shot of air, and then a little warm back up for Wednesday, and then we'll cool back down by next Thursday and Friday.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Well, we want to take a live shot here of a car that drove into a retention pond near the off-ramp of Interstate 10 in Pensacola. News 5's Haley Minogue is right here live on the scene. You can see the driver looks like he's gotten out of the car. He's checking out his vehicle as they were able to get it out of that pond. Probably has some water damage there to the engine. Haley, we have more tonight on the CW 55 News at 9. But again, it doesn't appear the driver was injured, and the impact on traffic seems to have passed.
Some news out of Montgomery now involving Alabama politics when lawmakers filed a bill that would get rid of concealed carry permits. Tuscaloosa Republican Senator Gerald Allen filed the bill. He says the current permit requirements are an unnecessary burden to gun owners. Currently, gun owners must undergo a background check before getting a permit. The bill has the backing of the NRA, but it's not known how much traction this will pick up in the legislative session, which begins in 3 weeks.
Coming up after the break, the Grammy Awards are right around the corner, and the Recording Academy made a special announcement today. Stay with us.
Change it up with fresh new looks and the latest styles for your home. We've put together everything you love about living near the water in my newest coastal collections at Rooms to Go. Our top quality leather, comfortable fabrics, rich woods, and bold colors are perfect for the way you live today. Come see my newest coastal collections, exclusively at Rooms to Go.
When you think Geico, think local. Many of your friends and neighbors have already made the switch to Geico since opening in Mobile. Call or come by today to get a fast free quote on your home, auto, or motorcycle insurance. Find out how much you can save on all your insurance needs. Get all the discounts you deserve from your local Geico office. We're located at 3766 Airport Boulevard in Mobile, or give us a call at 251-445-0053.
What does it take to sink your teeth into a checker burger with cheese? Easy. You give them $1, and they give you that. Or you can give them these, and they still give you this with a crunchy bit of this, juicy that, and a big old bite of this, which together makes this for this. You could even give them this, and they still give you this. Recap. When you get this, you can trade it for this. Get your own checker burger with cheese for just $1. Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
3, 2, 1, Wednesday. The coffee, the kids, the commute, the cubicles, the hot water heater. The hot water heater? Well, it is hump day, and it's not payday. It's between paychecks. There goes your budget. Wait, no it doesn't. You know where to go. Advance America. You get the money you need in minutes. It's easy, it's fast, it's done. Hump what hump? Huh? Money when you need it. Advance America. Power on.
Ignoring the warning signs won't make them go away. Call AFS today for a free inspection and repair estimate. AFS, we support everything you love.
AFS, a WKRG TV home connections partner.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
CBS and the Recording Academy have announced a special performance at this year's Grammy Music Awards. 10-time winner Adele will take the stage and perform. She's also a nominee in 5 different categories, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. This will be her 4th performance at the Grammys, and the show will air right here on News 5 on Sunday, February 12th, and will begin at 7 o'clock. This is the 59th edition of the award show, and it will take place at the Staples Center in Los Angeles.
Well, one of the stories we are covering tonight, racial graffiti spray painted on 3 homes overnight.
It happened in North Mobile County in the Mount Vernon area.
News 5's Roseanne Haven joins us live from the newsroom with more.
Yes, someone spray painted racial slurs, vulgarity, and offensive drawings on 3 homes on Highway 43 in Mount Vernon. They also wrote out the letters KKK. All 3 homes belong to the same family. Derica Dees tells News 5, despite the message intended, her family will not be shaken. We'll have more on this coming up tonight on News 5 at 10. We're going to tell you how long this has been going on and what is and is not being done about it.
All right, thank you so much, Roseanne. And of course, we are all watching the weather tonight, and we're talking about those early morning hours.
Yeah, so the overnight hours tonight, so when most people are going to sleep, so this will start around midnight tonight, lasting through the morning hours. That's why the next, I would say, 12 hours is weather alert day, and then maybe a secondary round. But for tonight, the first half of this evening, relatively quiet, but past midnight tonight, have a way to stay weather aware. We'll have much more updates coming up in our later newscast.
All right, coming up next, more on the inauguration from CBS News.
And Mel and Roseanne will see you tonight at 6.